Yesterday, the trial chamber sentenced Jelena Rašić, former case manager on the defense team of Milan Lukić, to 12 months imprisonment for contempt of the tribunal. Rašić has been given credit for the 78 days she has already spent in detention. The chamber ruled that the remaining 8 months of the sentence would be suspended for a period of 2 years, having taken into account the difficult circumstances brought about by Rašić being the only female detainee in the United Nations Detention Unit, her health condition, her comparably young age, and the fact that this is the first time she has received a prison sentence. Rašić was sentenced following her conviction on the 31st of January 2012 of having knowingly and willingly interfered with the administration of justice by procuring a false witness statement in exchange for €1,000 in cash. This conviction followed the acceptance by the trial chamber of a plea agreement filed jointly by the prosecution and the defense at a hearing at which the accused pleaded guilty to all 5 counts of the indictment. The amended indictment was filed on the 24th of January 2012. Also yesterday, an administrative hearing was held in the case of Vojislav Šešelj. Closing arguments in this case have been scheduled to commence on Monday the 5th of March at a time and in a courtroom to be confirmed. The trial in the contempt trial of Milan Lukić, who has been accused of failing to testify in the trial of Radovan Karadzic, adjourned last Friday until further notice. The date of the judgment will be announced in due course and the media will be informed accordingly. In the appeals case of Momcilu Perisic, a status conference has been scheduled to be held on Wednesday, the 7th of March at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in courtroom 3. This is the first status conference to be held since the judgment in the case was rendered on the 6th of September 2011. Perisic, former chief of the General Staff of the Yugoslav Army, was sentenced to 27 years of imprisonment for crimes against humanity and war crimes committed in Bosnia and Herzegovina and Croatia. In the contempt of court case of Vojislav Šešelj, a status conference will be held on Friday, the 9th of March 2012 at 10 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 3. On the 31st of October 2011, Šešelj was convicted of contempt of the tribunal and sentenced to 18 months imprisonment for disclosing confidential information pertaining to protected witnesses in a book he authored. This is the second trial for contempt of the tribunal against Vojislav Šešelj. In the first contempt case against him, completed on the 19th of May 2010, Šešelj was sentenced to 15 months of imprisonment for disclosing confidential information. The third contempt case against Šešelj, initiated on the 24th of May 2011, is currently underway. A status conference will be held in the appeals case of Vujadin Popović and others this Friday at 11 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 3. The 7 former high-ranking Bosnian Serb military and police officials indicted in this case were convicted on the 10th of June 2010 for a range of crimes committed in 1995 in relation to the genocide committed in Srebrenica and the fall of the enclaves of Srebrenica and Žepa in eastern Bosnia and Herzegovina. The last status conference in this case was held on the 19th of October 2011. Proceedings in the trials of Radovan Karadzic, Zdravko Tolimir, as well as Jovica Stanisic and Franko Simatovic continue this week and next week as scheduled. In the trial of Karadzic, the chamber is currently hearing the testimony of Mira Mihajlović, who was Karadzic's secretary from January 1993 to 1996 and worked in the presidential office. In the trial of Tolimir, military expert defense witness Arakoš Kribić is currently testifying. He is the third witness to be called by the accused. In the trial of Stanisic and Simatovic, the testimony of witness Aco Drača, which started last week, is ongoing. Drača was a member of the State Security Service of the Serb Autonomous Region of Krajina in Croatia during the relevant period. That's it. So the prosecutor?
Nothing from my side.
Okay. Well, in that case, are there any questions? No? Thank you very much then. Have a good day.